Forget the lottery. According to a recent Credit Karma study, 43% of Gen Z are saying no thanks to the 9-to-5. They're not looking for a quick escape, they're looking for a different future. So what does the future look like and how do we build it? Well, it's not about luck, it's about strategy, and maybe a little bit about how we manage our money. Let's be real, who hasn't experienced the Sunday night dread? The burnout, the endless clocking in and out, the feeling of being undervalued. It's no wonder so many of us are questioning the entire system. You're putting in the work, but are you really getting what you deserve? Are you building your dream or someone else's? But what if I told you there's a way to not work, eventually, and it doesn't involve winning the lottery? What if instead of hoping for a lucky break, you could build your own escape route yourself? What if you could take control of your financial future and create the freedom to pursue your passions, travel the world, or, just relax and not have to worry about bills? That's where personal finance comes in. It's not about saving a few bucks or budgeting a few bucks. It's about learning how money works, understanding how to make it grow, and leveraging it to accomplish your goals, including how to escape the 9-to-5 grind. Financial independence is about building a future that you get to decide what to do with your time, not your boss. Let's talk about the lottery. Who hasn't dreamt of hitting instant financial freedom? But here's the reality check. The odds of winning the lottery are about 1 in 292 million. That's like flipping a coin and getting heads 28 times, or going viral on TikTok, which honestly, your odds of going viral on TikTok are better than winning the lottery. You're actually even more likely to get struck by lightning. So if your plan is to win the lottery, it's not exactly a solid plan. Neither is relying on being born rich or receiving an inheritance. You have to take matters into your own hands and use personal finance as a way to reach financial independence if you're like most of us. So that's the reality check. The lottery, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, and all the other quick fixes are not the answer. But don't worry, I'm not here to tell you to give up. There is a path to building financial freedom, and it all starts with financial independence and personal finance. Let's take a step back. What exactly is financial independence? Well, financial independence is having enough money saved and invested so that you don't actually have to work. It's about creating a financial safety net that allows you to pursue your passions and live life on your own terms. Basically, having enough money invested so that you can live without having an income. But how does it work? Well, it's 4 key elements, and those are budgeting, saving, investing, and letting compound interest work its magic. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. The more that you save earlier on, the bigger and bigger the snowball grows as it falls down the hill. In fact, most of us in the younger generations have a huge advantage here, where if we start saving money earlier, it'll pay off leaps and bounds in the future as our life plays out. We'll dive deeper into some of these concepts in future videos, but for now, just remember that thinking long-term and consistent action is key. And to be clear, achieving financial independence isn't necessarily about never having to work again. It's about having the choice to work if you want to. It's about creating a life where you're not tied down to a job just to make ends meet. It's also about having the freedom to pursue your passions, spend time with loved ones, and to live a life that truly fulfills you. But before we can get to the great stuff, we have to go over a few key concepts that are super important in order to reach financial independence. And the first one is budgeting. And I know you're probably thinking, that is boring. I don't want to do that. That is the worst. And I know, budgeting is boring, but trust me, it can be the foundation of everything. Think of it like this. You can't build a house without a blueprint, and you can't achieve financial independence without understanding where your money is going. Are you spending all of your money on lattes, avocado toast, and Chipotle? Well, trust me, I've been there. I love to eat out too. And if you're serious about financial freedom, then that eating out habit's gonna need a little bit of tweaking. Knowing where your money goes is step one. It's about making conscious decisions about how you spend your money and what you do with it so that you can free up more cash for doing other stuff like investing and contributing towards your financial future. Next up is saving. Even small amounts add up over time. Think about it like planting a seed. If you plant a seed with the right habits, give it water, and consistently take action, then it might grow into a mighty tree in the future. And the easiest way to save, in my opinion, is to automate it and put it before all of your other expenses. If you first get your income and then you save the money first, then you know exactly what's left over after you've contributed to your financial goals. You can do this by setting up automatic transfers from your checking account to your savings account, or from your income statements from your work to other investment accounts. And even $25 can make a huge difference over time once a week. It's about building up the savings habits and not making it a chore. Now, the real magic happens with investing. Investing is like magic, and many books and things that I've read about personal finance speak to it as making your money work for you, so that when you're not at work, the money keeps working in the background while it's invested in other assets. Investing is all about making your money work for you, but I want to be super clear. Investing is not gambling. It's not about getting rich quick. We're not talking about putting all of your money into Dogecoin and hoping that you become an overnight millionaire. It's about long-term growth and putting your money into assets that will generate growth over time. We'll cover different investment strategies and investment options in future videos, but the key takeaways here from the investing section is to start early, be patient, and let compound interest do its thing. And finally, we need to talk about debt, specifically high interest debt. The buy now, pay later trap of companies like Klarna and Affirm and high interest credit card debt are some of the worst things that you can do or have on your journey to financial independence. You can think of it kind of like this. Imagine you're climbing up a mountain on your way to financial independence, and high interest credit card debt, student loans, and other problems with high interest debt are like a weight that is holding you from getting up the mountain. Debt eats away at your future earnings, and it eats away at your financial goals. So if you're serious about reaching financial independence, then you need to pay down your high interest debt as soon as possible. You can think about it as an investment in your future self. So now you understand the mechanics of personal finance, but there's one more thing that is super important, and that's going to be your mindset. Achieving financial independence is not just about numbers. It's about how you think about money and changing the way that you think about money. It requires a shift in perspective, so here's a few things to keep in mind. The first up is delayed gratification. And yes, that means saying no to things that you want to do sometimes, like that round trip to Aruba that you were thinking about taking, or that fancy dinner out that you want to go to, or getting concerts to the weekend. Those things can be tough to resist, but remember, it's not about denying yourself happiness. It's about putting your emphasis on building a long-term future. It's about trading temporary pleasures for long-term freedom. It's about building a life where you have the resources to do the things that you truly want to do without the worry of money. The other thing that you need to keep in mind is to celebrate your small wins. Financial independence is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time and it is extremely difficult, and it is really difficult to say no to things that people might wrap you into, social events, and other instances where you might feel pressured to break your budget and spend more than you want to. As you go on your journey, it's important to acknowledge the progress that you've made over time. Did you just pay off a credit card for the first time? That's fantastic. Did you reach your goal to contribute to your savings and emergency fund? That is also fantastic. You should celebrate these milestones, get accountability partners to keep you on track, and to keep remembering that you are making progress to a larger goal at the end. And remember, financial independence takes time. Don't get discouraged if you're there yet or if you're just starting from today. It is a process, and there will be ups and downs. There will be times where you slip up. There will be times where you overspend, and that's okay. It's a part of the journey. The goal here is to make progress, not perfection. Don't beat yourself up over small setbacks. Get yourself back up, dust yourself back up, and keep moving forward towards the goal. Consistency is key, and all of the steps that you contribute across savings, investing, and budgeting are ultimately going to move you closer to your goal. I want to give you a little bit of context about how personal finance has helped me in my life. When I was 18, I was working at McDonald's and I had no money. Seriously, zero. Maybe a few Pokemon cards. I was working at McDonald's just to have enough money to travel across the country, going to different Pokemon tournaments, taking the earnings, and then reinvesting it into more flights. When COVID-19 hit, I was completely broke. I had lost my source of income and had literally $0. It was during those down months where I discovered personal finance through amazing resources that are totally free on YouTube. And fast forward 4 years, and now I'm 22 and have a net worth of $200,000. And I am not sharing that to brag. I'm sharing that to show you that with patience, hard work, dedication, and focusing on the long term, you can also achieve those things. I didn't achieve that net worth number with some get-rich-quick scheme or cryptocurrency pump and dump. I worked jobs, invested in 401ks, Roth IRAs, and actively tried to live below my means to ensure that I could make progress towards my financial goals. I'm also sharing this with you to show you that if you're starting from scratch, it's not going to happen overnight. It does take time and it does take patience, but if you take the steps in this video and learn from the topics that you can find on YouTube and on this channel, then over time, reaching financial independence is totally possible. And reaching this milestone at this age has given me an extreme sense of security. I rarely have money problems, all of my savings and investments are automated, and I have the freedom to choose how I spend my excess funds. If I want to travel, I travel. If I want to eat out, I eat out. But I make sure that with those things, I always balance doing the right things and taking the right actions to save and live below my means where necessary. For me, this isn't about early retirement. I actually really enjoy working and I have a lot of fun. For me, it's about having the option to retire early if I wanted to in the future. My goal is to hit $1 million in net worth by the time I hit 30, but even at this stage, having $200,000 in net worth has given me a taste about financial freedom. And it's not about being rich, it's about having choices and the freedom to make those choices. It's about knowing that I'm in control of my financial future and that I can pursue my dreams without having money worries. So there you have it. We have explored the reality of the anti-work dream, the power of financial independence, and the role that personal finance plays in making it all happen. If anti-work is your goal, then personal finance is your roadmap. The most important takeaway you should have from this video is that you're not stuck. You have options and you have the power to build your financial future. When you take control of your money, you can take control of your future. Gain the freedom to choose how you spend the time in the way that it fulfills you, pursue your passions, and live a life that is fulfilling to you. So if you want to learn more, that's great. Check out the other videos on this channel about saving, investing, budgeting, and all things personal finance. Let's reframe our approach to that no-work future together. And remember, it's not about luck. It's about strategy, making smart choices today that will influence how you live your life in the future. So take that first step, subscribe to my channel and watch the other videos, and let's get started together.